Hi, this is Carl with Small Biz Thoughts, and this is a super success video for managed service providers. Today I want to talk about customer service, and in particular, how do you know when customer service is bad? A friend of mine recently, he knows that I'm developing a class, I'm teaching a class on customer service, and he said, "Oh, I got a great story for you." And the story was that he had ordered groceries from the store. They were delivered to his door. A few things were missing. So he says, "Ugh." So he calls up the store and says, there's 4 items missing. And they say, "No problem, we'll give you a credit." He says, "Well, credit's fine. That doesn't really solve my problem. I need my groceries. So I need these 4 items to be delivered." And they said, "Well, the problem is that just those 4 items doesn't meet our minimum for delivery. So we can give you a credit, or you can order more so that you reach the threshold." He said, wait a minute. I did the right thing. I did what I'm supposed to do. I ordered this, I paid for it, and I took delivery of it. You did not fulfill what you agreed to do, and you left some things out of the delivery. So why should I have to pay for this?" And the guy on the phone basically said, "I'm sorry, sir, I understand. There's nothing I can do. Is there anything else I can help you with today?" And that is the single most frustrating line that you can hear in customer service in the 21st century, is when people haven't helped you, but they insist on going through the script. "Is there anything else I can do?" And you've been there. You want to scream into the phone, "You haven't done anything for me yet." So anyway, I want to look at this a bit and ask the question, what makes that bad customer service? Right? The person on the line has a job. His job is to answer the phone, to solve people's problems, to smooth out rough surfaces, to smooth out the feathers that have been ruffled. So he's doing his job. He did not make the policies. He did not create a policy that says that even if we screwed up, there's this minimum thing, right? So this program, the entire food delivery program, was obviously designed for the store to make more money. Maybe they're making more money because one of their employees runs around and gets the stuff and delivers it, and so they don't have to spend time with a cashier. Maybe the person who does this is lower paid than a cashier. I don't know that. Maybe they make money because they keep a customer longer, because when they can't get to the store can get to them, right? That's totally legit. Maybe they can serve people who never want to go to the store, or can't get out of the house, or have ambulatory problems or whatever. There's lots of reasons why this is a program that can make money. But remember, customer service always costs money. There's nothing you can do about that. Service, just forget the word customer. Service costs money. So part of their service is to deliver orders, and clearly there has to be some component in there that says, go through this sub-process to make sure the order is correct. If we don't do that, we're not really providing the service that somebody's paid for. So again, the question is, where did it go wrong? The person that he talked to is doing his job. There are a set of policies and procedures. He's pointing to them, and he's just going down the list. And he can't authorize a delivery for just these 4 items. Well, those policies are wrong, or he's misinterpreting them. We don't know. So, but as the customer, you look at this and you say, look, I didn't create this problem. I created a situation where you were going to make a bunch of money and I was going to get some groceries. But now you've created a problem because you won't give me the full order that I've already paid for. And you want to give me my money back, but I don't need my money back. I need my groceries. So you can see why the customer is frustrated. But again, we need to analyze it. So, okay, what makes that bad service? What would you expect? And this is the key to success. Bad customer service, bad service happens when expectations are not in line with the experience, right? So whichever one you think is higher or lower, bad service happens when your expectation is not met. And clearly, when you engage in any service, you expect it to be smooth. And so what we call bad customer service happens when it's not smooth, when there is this disconnect between expectations and experience. So when we talk about customer service, too often we are talking about it in the past tense. We're talking about it from the perspective of fixing a problem that's gone wrong. And if you think about it, zoom way out and look at the whole experience that you want the customer to have. When you do that, what you realize is you cannot build customer service around bad experiences. You can't build customer service based on the things that are the exceptions to the rule. 99% of the time, maybe 99.9% of the time, orders go out and they're correct and everything is smooth and it's delivered on time and everything is there and there's no issues. And maybe you throw in a few candies just for fun to make the client happy. That's all good. So that's the norm. That's what you expect. That's what it was designed to do. And service, good service, means that you meet all of those expectations. So the bad service didn't happen on the phone. The bad service happened when the order was not properly packed and delivered. And I don't know, again, I don't know if there's 4 items rolling around in the back of somebody's car. I don't know if there's 4 items rolling around in a cart at the store, dropped off of a shelf. I don't know. But it was in the failure to deliver good service that good service was not accomplished. So when you call somebody on the phone, this is clearly a process where service, customer service, was bolted on after the fact. And ultimately, the best way to provide great service is to define your client, define your service, and then define a massively beautiful system that allows you to provide perfect service because you're giving your ideal client exactly what they want. And then it's a matter of processes and procedures. You cannot control people, but you can control your process. So you can't control whether the customer's happy, willing to take a refund, willing to walk down to the store, go get 4 items, willing to drive to the store, willing to order more, right? Whatever their options are, you can't control that. What you can control is delivering great service in the first place. And then saying, all right, and then when there's an exception, how do we want to deal with that? And that's the key to success. The understanding how we're going to deal with that gets you back to that zooming out where you look at the whole process. You cannot take pieces apart and then glue them back on and pretend that you've got a holistic process. You have to look at the whole process. And that's where the part that's visible, the part that makes the caller, the customer, irritated, really stands out because they see customer service as that guy didn't give me what I wanted. That guy did not fulfill my expectation. Because you know what? I'm willing to say, hey, mistakes happen. 4 items got left out. Now what should I expect? And what my friend expected was for them to deliver those 4 items. Now, in this instance, that might have cost a great deal of money. You know, maybe $10 worth of items, but you know, when you add the lost delivery fee and not having enough items to make it worth their standard delivery, blah, 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 right? It's just going to be more expensive than their average delivery, but it would have become a non-issue to the customer. The customer would have said, oh, you know, stuff happens, mistakes happen, but here's what I can tell you, that store made it right. One phone call and it was done the way it should have been done. Nobody expects the rest of the world, well, very few people expect the rest of the world to be perfect. They shouldn't expect the rest of the world to be perfect, but part of customer service is how do you handle mistakes? And all too often, our entire vision of customer service consists of exceptions to the rule and a process that is bolted on after the fact and isn't related to the actual good service. Now, if this store looks at it and they zoom out, they should look at it and say, well, there will be mistakes. There will be things forgotten. There will be extra things left in the bag that shouldn't have been. There will be things left out of the bag that shouldn't have been left out. What are we going to do about that? And there should be a process that makes sense and is good for the customer, that will make the customer say, I had a good experience, even though it wasn't perfect. You know, I love the ratings on things like Yelp, right? There's always 5 stars. Well, 5's great because in the middle is just the middle. Then you got 2 on the bad side and 2 on the good side. And a lot of times, like my favorite rating is a 4. Why is that? Well, it's hard to be truly outstanding all the time, you know, hitting a home run every day. That's essentially impossible. But having great service, having above average service, having a good experience every time I go someplace, that's attainable. That is realistic, and that is the way the world can operate. So when you think about your business, think about the whole customer experience. And if a customer has a bad experience, where did it zig sideways? Where did it go wrong? And did it go wrong only when the customer saw it, or did it go wrong, as in this case, before the customer actually knew that they had a problem? Because no matter what happens in this scenario, anybody who calls that customer service rep is going to get an answer that is going to frustrate them. And it might be that they don't know the real policies and procedures, or they don't know that they have the authority to override the minimum for delivery. But if it is the way it appears to be, then there's actually a policy that's going to irritate customers. The reason I'm putting this together is that I need you to think about customer service from a very holistic perspective. Don't try to fix one thing without regard to all the rest. And the ultimate thing you need to do is to take a big, big step back and say, how do I design a system that makes my perfect client happy? And it may be that your perfect client puts up with the occasional pain in the neck, right? That literally you set expectations that are not super, super high, but that are high, sustainable, and something that you can repeat again and again and again profitably. Things will go wrong. Things happen all the time. But how you deal with them is actually what the client, the customer, cares about. So when you think about your business, how do you reformulate your entire business in order to make sure that you start with the client in mind and then build a perfect system that will make them perfectly happy? This is what I'm dealing with in my class, so I'm hoping this is useful, but if you want more, go to itspu.com and sign up for my class on customer service for IT professionals. I think you'll get a lot out of it. I promise it's just loaded with lots of little goodies, and I might even throw in a few pieces of candy just for fun. I welcome your comments and feedback. For Small Biz Thoughts, this is Carl Palachuk, wishing you the best of luck in everything you do.